Are you working more on taking your takedowns or blocking takedowns?
Right now in this training camp, I'm working mostly on the fact of, putting myself in the best position to, out wrestle George, put myself in the best position to knock George out. And if that's, working the defense, absolutely. Offense, yeah, definitely. We work, I got DC, Daniel Cormier, as my wrestling coach. He brought Chris Pendleton, who's a 3-time All-American, 2-time national champ at Oklahoma State, and he's coaching at Wyoming. And I brought him in for this week to just pretty much focus on the aspect of wrestling. Having somebody that's got speed like George St. Pierre, but who is a 10 times better wrestler than George.
Why is his wrestling so good for MMA? Yes, please.
I think George St. Pierre's wrestling is so good for mixed martial arts because of the fact that he puts the shot with the takedowns, the punches, and he's very good at getting somebody to overextend, and he's already on their legs. So, and when you're so definitely afraid to stand up and get punched, and you rely strictly on wrestling as George does, it makes it easier for George to play like, okay, I'm just going to wrestle because he doesn't want to get punched.
What do you mean overextend? Overextend trying to hit?
Like if I throw a big right hand and my legs are open because I'm in the process of throwing punches, then George St. Pierre's, he's has that opportunity to catch me when I'm overextended and take me down.
And is the biggest part of wrestling the takedowns and stuffing the takedown, or is it once you're on the ground?
I think the biggest part of wrestling and defending the takedown is, obviously not letting him get to your legs. But once he gets to your legs, it's about, having the speed of stuffing the head, squaring the hips, and, getting him overextended on the ground and in a bad position.
And so, your last fight, he surprised you with his wrestling?
The first fight with me and George in 2007, with my hard-headedness, I was just like, I got the wrestling. I don't think this guy has the ability to learn how to wrestle that fast. And, he definitely surprised me. I think now, I know that, he's working with Freddie Roach. It might be a cock-out, it might be like, he's going to come in and box. But if he comes in and boxes me this time, then that's great for me because, I think that I can take 2 or 3 of George's punches and to give one of mine. That would be a big mistake on George's behalf. But I believe that his game plan is he's going to have the same game plan as he had the first time. He's going to probably mix in striking with a lot of wrestling.
Who would win if you wrestled yourself from your last college match today?
Oh my last college match would kick my ass today, obviously because, when you wrestle 6 straight years of just competing wrestling versus, 6 years of competing just mixed martial arts and not focusing on wrestling, you kind of lose a little bit of that, But I believe that I'm a much smarter wrestler now than I was in college, absolutely. I understand positioning more now than I did then, because of obviously the experience, getting to work with Daniel Cormier and, over the past year and a half, he's really brought wrestling back to AKA, and it's kind of a good opportunity to have him in our gym.
But you would knock yourself out now?
Well,
you would knock your college self out?
Oh yeah, I mean, if I was to fight the college wrestler, I would, obviously knock him out, But this game is always evolving, and if you're not, putting yourself around the best people, such as we do at AK, from management all the way down to, trainers and training partners, you have to put yourself around the best possible people to be successful, and that's why you see so many young fighters now coming to AK and being a part of the tradition that we have there now, starting with obviously Cain Velasquez, our first UFC world champion. You know, he's the heavyweight world champion. So the tradition has started now, and now it's a big opportunity for me to continue the tradition December 11th and bring another belt back. You know, that it's just that too important. There's too many people involved. We have too good of a knit family there to not have the opportunity for future champions to come out of American Kickboxing Academy.
And what about Montreal? Do you think, do you not like Canadians, or is it all just to hype up the pay-per-view? Or?
Well, Montreal, you know, I think we have a hate-love relationship. I don't have anything against anybody, whether they're American, whether they're Canadian, you know, but, you know, they pretty much started it first. Whenever I was there in my last fight with Paul Daly, they started booing me and saying "F you, Koscheck." So I had to retaliate a little bit and hop basically on their Habs. You know, that's their hockey team up there. And, you know, they were playing Pittsburgh the night before we fought, and they actually played an amazing game against Pittsburgh, and they beat Pittsburgh. But, you know, it is what it is. It's business, and I'm going to say things, you know, that are on my mind, as well as the fans are going to say things on my mind. But the funny thing is I've never really had, you know, a fan, you know, as much as I play the heel role, and as many times as, you know, people say that, oh, Koscheck's the most hated MMA fighter in UFC history. I've never had a fan come up to me and not want my autograph. And it's like, you have all these people booing you, but yet who are all these people coming up to me every time they see me wanting my autograph? Oh my God, Koscheck, oh my God. You know, it's like, come on, let's be real here. You know, when they're numbers, oh yeah, they seem to, you know, feed off of each other. But when they're alone, they all kiss my ass and want the autograph. So it's like, you know, when I walk into the arena for Kane's fight, you know, Dana White said something actually very funny to Bob and everybody in Kane's dressing room. He said, oh my God, if Osama bin Laden walked into this arena, they wouldn't boo him as bad as they're booing Koscheck right now. So, you know, so I guess Ultimate Fighter Season 12 is obviously paying off. And people are really hopefully going to tune in December 11th and watch me knock George St. Pierre out.
Does it surprise you that you get that response? Like you...
It doesn't surprise me that I get that response. I think it's actually funny because, you know, everybody that knows me obviously knows that I can be a pain in the ass. But, you know, deep down inside, I'm a lot different when you get to hang out and get to really see the type of person that I am. So it's kind of interesting to see the fact that you know, you have so many different people out there that truly believe that I'm one way, which, you know, they can believe that, but when they meet me, their opinion totally changes.
Who do you think's the most misunderstood fighter in the UFC?
Well,
who's different than their public perception?
Well, I would definitely think that I'm different than my public perception. You know, I think Rashad Evans would be another guy. You know, I think King Mo's another guy that's, you know, knows. One of the things that those guys said is it's so hard to work on people getting to like you when it's so easy for them to hate you, you know, to just go with it and go with the flow. And, you know, it's so much easier. And for me, it's business for me. I just want to make money. I just want to, you know, have opportunity to expand my businesses and, you know, make a career out of this. And obviously, I got to step up and I got to win fights. You know, I could talk as much shit as I want. You know, I can get as many people in the world to hate me. But at the end of the day, I got to step in there and I got to win fights. And that's what I've been doing for the last 7 years. And that's why I am here fighting George St. Pierre for the welterweight title.